Hi, I'm Mikey Domagala, host of Inside Buzz. Welcome to episode 10. There's been plenty of dominant big men in Duke history. Danny Ferry, Christian Laettner, Elton Brand, Carlos Boozer, Jahlil Okafor, and of course, most recently, Zion Williamson. But in the early to mid-2000s, Sheldon Williams was that big man at Duke. He was dominant, and he still leads the school in all-time rebounds and blocks, and he quickly became one of the best collegiate big men of his time. Williams is today's guest on Inside Buzz. We'll touch on his Duke days, his 6 years in the NBA, some great players he laced them up with, and also his podcast today. Sheldon, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mikey. Thanks for having me.
It's day 17 without the NBA due to the coronavirus. All sports are stopped. How's Sheldon Williams doing with this? Are you going through the attic and looking at your old basketball memories? Are you going through your old highlights?
See, during the first few days, it was pretty much me just kind of looking at different sports platforms and watching old games of, different eras and everything. I was doing that at first. And then I got kind of tired of that. So I started going into Netflix and Hulu, started binge watching shows. I'm not a reality show person, but I got myself into Love is Blind, which is a little bit embarrassing to say, but it wound up being a good show. But yeah, just trying to keep myself entertained and everything. But it's hard. I mean, after waking up and you working out as much as you can at the house, and you have the rest of the day just staring at the walls and TV.
And Sheldon, what are your thoughts of March Madness being canceled? I mean, you're in the tournament almost all 4 years at Duke. I'm sure you could feel for those players and teams who missed out this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, I didn't think that the tournament was going to be canceled when it first was announced. Like, coronavirus was kind of starting up. I just thought, we're going to find a cure to, take care of it and, at worst, play without any fans. But, with the seniors, for the most part, the seniors are the ones I'm really sorry for, because they don't have a chance to go out and, just everything they work for. It's pretty much what everybody, does. And, guys like, Obi and Dayton, having a remarkable season and everything, and him not able to finish off his career. I mean, Dayton might not have another year like this ever again, and they not even had a chance to, prove themselves in the tournament. So it's I feel bad for these guys, especially, since I played in all 4 years of my years at college, and them not able to do the same thing.
So Sheldon, can you paint the picture in our minds of being a superstar on Duke University campus? One night you might be putting up 20 and 10 on national television, then the next day you're in class. So how was it for you, JJ Redick, and some of the huge names to just, go around a college campus every day?
Honestly, I mean, being at Duke, everybody knows it's such a Duke basketball dominant sport, was, at Duke. But after being on campus, Coach K always had the freshmen on the freshman campus. So we were still a part of, as much as we could, with practices and us being away from games, we were still a part of the freshman community and everything. So we still feel like, we still had college life and, be around us as well. So he did a good job of kind of keeping, the small part that we did have being, college students.
You spent all 4 years at Duke with Sean Dockery, who was also on Inside Buzz with me a few weeks ago. What can you say about your relationship with Dockery when you're teammates and then today?
Doc is a good guy. When I was coming out of high school, he had a TV show. Everybody was watching, tuning in and watch, with Chicago Preps and everything. It was just something that everybody was watching. It was him and Will Bynum, Eddie Curry, and all these guys. And, we never had a show like that before. And that's something that everybody kind of tuned in, especially, people like, when I was in Oklahoma, basketball wasn't as king as it was, other states. It's gotten a lot better, especially with us having an NBA team now and everything. But at that time, I didn't see a lot of guys leaving and going to, pursue their basketball dreams, and then having Sean put, basketball on a platform like that and then be able to play with him. It was just a great situation. I used to ask him all the time, like, how did it feel? Like, he was literally like a superstar, Like, everybody knew who you were before you even came to Duke, and then you going to Duke, which went even higher. So, but Doc's a great guy. He's also a funny guy as well, too. He's been doing a good job of just staying in the basketball world, training kids and NBA players as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of big NBA players under his belt that he's trained. And Doc, if you're listening to this, thanks for coming on again a few weeks ago. And Sheldon, what are your thoughts on JJ Redick? What can you say about playing with him? Because he was a sharpshooter on that Duke squad.
He definitely was. I mean, I never played with a guy who literally couldn't miss. I mean, it was either on or he was off. It was like no in between with JJ. Like JJ, and more so than often, he was on. Like there was some days in practice where he'd shoot the ball and we didn't touch him, no matter where he's shooting from. That's how pure of a shooter he was. And I'd never seen anything like that before. Even all the teams I played for, pros and everything like that, I just never seen a guy who can shoot the ball, as well as he did. He can.
And how'd you get the nickname the Landlord?
I got it when I was in junior high. I was playing for my high school team, and one of the announcers was saying that I was the owner in the paint, and everybody's coming to my paint. It was being my tenants. And that game actually had a state record of 16 blocks. And he's been a landlord out there. So that stuck with me throughout high school. And then when I got to college, Dick Vitale helped out and made it a kind of a household name. And then it stuck with me ever since.
16 blocks in high school in one game. What were your averages in high school, and what were some other career highs you could tell me?
I can't even remember. That's so long ago. I mean, I just remember that the 16 blocks was a record, state record and everything. So I don't think I had another game with that many blocks. But, I was always known as a defender and rebounder as well. So that's something that I kind of hung my hat on. But, we had a good high school team. I mean, we wound up being number 4 in the nation with a couple of guys that I played with D'Angelo Alexander, and then also Matt Kemp, who actually went to play baseball in the major leagues, Golden Glove winner with the Dodgers and everything. So we had a really good squad. Won 2 state championships, and then while I'm going to college, and we all kind of win.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a funny story. I never knew Matt Kemp was a basketball player, let alone play with you in high school. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Matt was trying to play basketball. He was trying to go to college playing basketball, and then that didn't work out, and he wound up making a better path. He's also he's done an amazing job, playing in the major leagues.
And you were coached by, of course, the legendary Coach K. What has he taught you as a man, and also what have you taken from him as a coach, as you're now a coach in the G League?
I mean, he's been a great coach. One thing he didn't coach was effort. That's something he did all the time. He brought in energy, he brought in effort. There's no way that a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid can't have consistent effort, and that's something that he pretty much preached from day one. Like, you got to care, you have to have ownership and effort every day that you do. And, he's the reason why he's been respected by a lot of players, with the USA team, professional players, every Duke class that comes in. So, I mean, it's a great coach to play for, as long as you know that if you can bring what you can bring every single day, everything else kind of falls in place.
And Shelden, give me your all-time Duke starting 5 with you not on the list.
My all-time starting Duke 5 would be Jay Williams at the point. I will go Johnny Dawkins at the 2. I will go Grant Hill at the 3. Go. I had a discussion yesterday.
Are you between Boozer and Elton right now?
I had a discussion yesterday because I had Boozer and Elton being more so 5, and I had Leitner at the 4. But then somebody was I was talking about more so the older players, but people were talking about putting Zion at the 4 spot, and I don't disagree with that. I could see Zion being at the 4, and then Leitner at the 5. But I think originally I had yesterday was Batty at the 4, and then Leitner at the 5 yesterday.
And how proud are you of Zion Williamson from what you saw in college at Duke and then translating to the NBA?
I mean, he's a special talent. I mean, I didn't get a chance to really know him. I met him a few times, but I didn't get a chance to really know him. But just seeing on the outside, looking in, he's a great guy. He really loves basketball. Yeah, he loves Duke. He goes back there at Duke. I think he went back for All-Star break, and then I think he went back before the season started as well, too. So he's just a great character guy. And for him to weather this storm and then come back as hot as he did, it's been amazing to watch. I just wish that he didn't get hurt. We was able to see this, consistently throughout the year. But, for him, I think if he continues to take care of his body, he's going to see a special talent from him, for a long time.
Shelden, can you talk about the pressure of being a top 5 pick? going into the NBA as you were drafted the 5th pick in the 2006 draft?
The pressure, I'm not sure it was pressure. I mean, I put myself in position, playing my 4 years at Duke, and being one of the, the better players in college basketball, and also, all the things I achieved at Duke. So I don't think it was pressure, because I was good enough to put myself in that position. I was blessed enough to be, a top 5 pick and everything. And, with a lot of stuff with how people come into the draft, a lot of people, go into spots that are, a good fit right away. Sometimes people go in and they got to play behind somebody, and then all of a sudden something happens and they get thrown into the lineup. So a lot of things does happen when you get to the next level, but I don't think it was pressure. I put myself in a position to, to be in that position.
And, going from Duke to the NBA, Duke, it's like you're playing against kids your age, and then in the NBA, there's men. Who is one big man who you stood next to and you're like, oh, wow, I'm matched up with this guy tonight, whether it's Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Wallace, whoever it was?
I mean, I had a few of those because especially I was a big KG fan, a big Rasheed Wallace fan growing up. So when I got a chance to play against him, it was kind of surreal because, I used to have posters of these guys on my wall, and now I'm playing against these guys, and then wind up being teammates with both of those guys, which was crazy in Boston too. So kind of came full circle. And then obviously Shaq. I mean, there's Shaq and Yao Ming. It was just, I don't know how to even try to guard that. I just try to put my body in position, and hopefully they don't just make me on a top 10 ESPN. So,
I mean, Rasheed Wallace has to be one of the funniest, just most unpredictable players in NBA history. What can you say about being his teammate? I'm sure you got great stories on Sheed.
Yeah, I mean, Sheed, like you said, he's a funny guy. He's gonna rep Carolina, especially with the whole Carolina Duke thing all the time, whatever. But no, Rasheed, one of the better teammates. Like you said, he's just a funny guy. He just be talking about anything and everything. He won't stop talking. That's something that Rasheed he won't do. I mean, he just won't stop talking. But he's a funny guy, great teammate. I enjoyed playing with him when I was in my year in Boston.
Speaking of Boston, your team matched up with the Lakers in the 2010 NBA Finals, where you guys lost in 7 games. Of course, you were matched up with Kobe Bryant. This is a 2-part question. One, can you talk about playing in the NBA Finals and getting minutes on one of the biggest stages in the world, and then going against Kobe Bryant for 7 games straight?
I mean, honestly, that was a great series. We went back and forth with the Lakers that year. Being with Game 7, having the lead majority of the game. And then in the last 5 minutes, things kind of changed for our squad. I'm not sure exactly what, but, I think we had like a double-digit lead with 5 minutes to go. And then all of a sudden, we kind of let that go. Obviously, we had some injuries with, Perk being hurt and everything too. So it was kind of a tough one to swallow. But, I mean, if you're in the NBA and you get a chance to play in the playoffs, that was my first time playing in the playoffs too. And I was able to go to a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. So that was pretty great to see, because I was like a kid watching these games on TV, and I was like, hey, now I'm over here on the squad playing a little bit and being able to play against one of the best.
And what about matching up with Kobe Bryant? I mean, being on the same floor and watching him for those 7 games.
Anytime you play against Kobe, I mean, I played against him a number of times in my career, but just being able to see somebody like that, the whole Mamba mentality and everything, and how he took everything serious. It was kind of like same way with KG, being able to see all on the outside, thinking it was an act. When I used to play against KG, then all of a sudden I played with him. It's not an act. Like, he literally has that energy every single day, and he brings it every single day. And I'm like, well, if he's 15, 16 years in doing that same stuff, there's no way for a guy like me who's 4, 5, 6 years in not to be able to do the same stuff and everything. So those guys are special talents. Be able to see both of them up close like that, it was unbelievable.
And that Celtics team you're on was, oh my God, stacked 1 through 12. How would that 09-10 Celtics team do in the league today? It's a faster paced game, and Ray Allen with the true green light like there is today in the NBA.
Honestly, I mean, I think that team can stack against any team of all time. I mean, it had all these Hall of Famers with, like you said, with Ray and KG and Rasheed and Paul Pierce, great players, and Rajon Rondo too. I mean, honestly, and then Perk being an anchor on the defensive end as well. Honestly, I think that was a team that can go against any team in the era.
And I got to bring up Brian Scalabrine because he was your teammate in Boston. He catches a lot of flack from the media. People think he can't ball. You spent a full year with him. What can you say about his abilities?
That's another guy. That's a funny guy as well. Scal is a funny guy and really knows the game. Very intelligent guy. He gets a lot of slack because people look at his body and everything and thinking like, all right, well, he don't have the body of a typical NBA athlete, which you can have your thoughts on that as well. But he's a great, smart player. Able to shoot the ball really well. I mean, I used to watch this guy when he was at USC. He had one of those unbelievable teams with him and Japania and Sam Clancy and those guys. Like I used to love watching that team play, and he's just a smart player, and there's a reason why he's been in the league for this long because he's just a smart player and he knows how to use his body and his athletic abilities, as best as he can.
When you were in Denver, of course, you were teammates with Carmelo Anthony. Then you get word you're traded with Melo to New York. Can you run through yourself getting that news and then that experience of going through all that with Melo?
I think it was the next year after I left Boston, and we were playing really well. I think it was like maybe fifth in the West or something like that, whatever. But it was always over our heads. That's something that they was talking about from the moment we got to Denver throughout the whole season. It's just always like, no matter when. Like, we just don't know when it's going to happen. And I think at the time, New York was playing really well too. They was at like 3 in the East, and Amari was like, an MVP type candidate at the time. And we wound up going to All-Star break, and then we came back and had a practice, and then some players weren't there, and we were like, okay, what's going on? And then as soon as we get home, see on TV and everything. It might be done, and we get the phone call, it got done. So we wind up getting traded. It was crazy because Dolan has sent the players from New York on a private plane to Denver, and they get off, and then all of us gets on, and then we fly right back. So it was kind of surreal because like at that time I never been on a PJ, and for that to happen, I was like, all right, well, I've been traded before, but I never been traded where somebody sends a private jet for us and we get back on a private jet.
Can you talk about Melo as a teammate? I just recently watched an interview with Iman Shumpert where he loved Melo as a teammate. He'd take the blame, he'd take the shots, of course, and he was just the leader of those Knicks teams.
Yeah, I think Melo is a good teammate. Obviously, he gets a lot of slack because of the things that he does on the court. People are saying that him taking the ball and being ISO Melo and everything like that, and not being a team player and everything. But Melo had one of the best strengths was him being ISO. Him being at mid range, facing you up and jab stepping you, and then going one way and spinning back and do a mid range jump shot. I mean, I would just that was his game. That was his game. This quick, come down, quick shot and everything. That's just his game. But as a teammate, Melo was a good teammate. He would joke around with guys off the court and everything. But it was never a guy where I was like, you know what, I just hate being around. I was never like that with Melo. Melo was always a good guy to be around.
And when he was, blackballed by the NBA for that year span before Portland picked him up, did you feel he should have been in the league?
I definitely. He still can play. As you can see, what he's doing with Portland. He's having a good year with Portland too, and he saw glimpses of old Melo as well too. So it just a matter of him finding the right spot again, and then being able to get that opportunity and chance to play. Obviously, things didn't work out with him in Oklahoma City and Houston, and then he got blamed for that, which I don't think it was fair for him to get all the blame for that as well. But hopefully, with his run that he did in Portland, it kind of get him back into a good spot next year, or even back with Portland again next year. But he deserves to go out on his own terms.
And like I mentioned earlier, you're an assistant coach on the Hawks G League affiliate. What are your goals for yourself as a coach going forward?
That's a good question. I don't have any immediate goals right now. I went from scouting with the Brooklyn Nets to now coaching in the G League. This is my second year coaching in the G League. Each job has its pros and cons, but I like being able to be with guys and have a relationship with guys and be able to work with these guys and be on the court. That's the best part of coaching for me, being able to do player development with these guys. And I really love, doing those type things and then helping guys out and passing out knowledge as well.
And Shelden, can you tell me about your podcast, The Lease Is Up? Your nickname's The Landlord, so mention how you developed the name, what platforms it's on, and some guests you've had on so far.
So I just started this recently, about last week. So I'm about 3 shows in. I'm still kind of learning the whole podcast game. But yeah, I kind of got the name from my play off my nickname, Landlord. So I did a Lease Is Up with Shelden, Landlord, Williams, and I just got approved to be on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify Podcasts and Google Podcasts. So I'm going to be putting out some more episodes this week and next week. But I just got done having some episodes with Chris Carrawell and Daniel Ewan, the last couple of days. So that'll be out there pretty soon as well. And then I plan on doing some more guys, hopefully in the near future.
Awesome. I'll be sure to put the links in the bio and also, the graphic of your podcast over the screen when you're talking about it. Shelden, what was your proudest basketball moment? Was it having your jersey retired by Duke, number 5 in the NBA draft, playing in the finals? What was it?
The first one is going to be me getting my jersey retired. I didn't go into Duke thinking that I was going to be getting my jersey retired. That's something I never even thought of. It became a possibility when my junior year, when I got Defensive Player of the Year at Duke. You have to graduate and be a Player of the Year. And when I got that, that's when it became a possibility going into my senior year that I can actually leave here and have my jersey retired. And then my second one was, obviously as a kid, playing in the driveway and playing against the neighborhood kids and everything, and watching these guys on TV. And then all of a sudden, I'm about to be drafted, and I'm in the green room with my parents and my brother. That's also another one where I walk across that stage and shake, David Stern's hand. I mean, that was my second greatest memory as well.
And Shelden, I see you on Instagram. You're getting in shape. You're working out. Have you ever thought about Ice Cube's Big 3 League? Your old teammate Joe Johnson's dominating the league. A few of your old teammates are there. Have you ever thought of it?
See, no, I never really thought about playing. I had retired. I kind of stopped playing for a couple years, and then I kind of got back into it. But I never really actually considered really playing in the Big 3, simply because in the summers that's my only free time that I have too. So I'm with my daughter the majority of the time. But yeah, I haven't really thought about playing in the Big 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Shelden Williams, Landlord. Thank you for coming on episode 10. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.